What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Poke Portfolio here, back with another video. And today we're going to take a trip down memory lane. We're going to take you back 9 months. We're going to rewind the clock. We're going to evaluate some things that happened in the past and see if they can be applied to today in Pokemon market, basically. And, you know, 9 months ago was a very different time in Pokemon. A lot of product, and it's only 9 months. Guys, that's not even a year. That is not even a year. And we've come so far as a bull market, and as the market has been moving, it's been absolutely pump dumps. Like, it's been going in circles, left, right, up, down. It's been a wild ride, and I just want to let's take a step back again. Let's do some investigating, reevaluating, and see. We'll go from there. But let me take you back to this very interesting time. I just wanted to show a few clips, a few minutes of this video that I made 9 months ago. So stay tuned with me, guys.
Market and the UK market seem to be deviating. The supply and demand, they're not the same. Obviously, the US market's a lot bigger, but in terms of
it deviates a lot, guys. If you guys didn't know, the US and the UK market deviates a lot, and I count my blessings every day that I'm in the UK market.
Supply on the Pokémon Center, in the US market, if you guys don't know, they've run out of Fusion Strike and Brilliant Stars booster boxes. So what we're going to see right now is, I think, very similar to what the US has done. The UK will probably follow, and this could be an opportunity, guys. It really could. So let's take a look at the UK market.
Wow. Still in stock.
They're
9 months, guys. Only 9 months.
I've just purchased a
£144
booster box. With some of my flips coming back from grading, I would buy more when I sort of cash those in.
I didn't buy more. It's a sad story. I didn't buy more.
Brilliant Stars is also available, but on the US, it's sold out. So
didn't buy any of that either.
Let's take a look at what they're doing in the US right now. So Brilliant Stars has gone on this sort of run since the start of last year, or this year. It's at its height. It's reached 19194. It's come down a little bit, and it's sort of
still a good set.
Climb back
it's
up
still a good set,
guys. Right now, you can see like some of these recent solds there
with the Charizard,
190,
Mega Evolutions,
185, 192. Loads sold at 197 a few days back. Sorry. Yeah. See,
and just to put it in perspective, I missed this because I didn't back then. I wasn't in as much of a good financial situation as I am now, so I didn't have the funds. But instead, I bought those PC ETBs, and it's you get where you can take, right? You get what you can take. But let's forward. You get the gist. It was all in stock and lovely and rosy back 9 months ago.
Like 220
Lost Origin
is wild.
220
for
Lost Origin.
What we're seeing right now. So yeah,
Fusion Strike was cheaper than Lost Origin back then. 9 months.
We're seeing, if you look at the sets, in terms of chronological order, Lost Origin, out of the ones I just showed you, was the latest. It goes back past Astral Radiance, Brilliant Stars, and then Fusion Strike.
So I think Prismatic was just
Fusion
about to come out
2021, guys.
Maybe
3-year-old set tomorrow. Came out on the 12th of November. 3 years, and it's still at MSRP on the Pokémon Center.
So what I was trying to say is that Fusion Strike has been in stock on the Pokémon Center for the whole time of its, since release, right? For 3 years. It's been in stock. What an absolute crazy stat that is. That it was in stock for all that time, and look at the price now. Wild. It's crazy that the market moves like that, and it's interesting as well. Very interesting.
Website. Guys, as soon as that goes, it's going 200 plus. 200 plus, mark my words. £60, nice 40%.
Strong prediction.
You got to
I seem
balance
pretty
of risk
confident.
and the reward, because as soon as that supply starts dwindling, starts dropping off, people start waking up to this, and you want to front run this, guys. All the attention right now is on Surgeon Sparks, Prismatic Evolution, the coming up Team Rocket, Gym Challenge, whatever's coming out, guys. We need to find things that are
I want
getting
to
left
blow up on
behind, things
YouTube.
that are getting
Why
forgotten
am I
about.
getting videos like that?
And like one of my subscribers said, this is a
It's
great
full screen.
opportunity. These two sets, Sword and Shield, will start running again in 2025. And to be honest, guys, I think these boosters, they should be pushing £300. They really should. That's what I would value.
Yeah, again, in the market, sometimes like you have to feel with your gut. My gut was telling me in back then, 9 months ago, that Fusion Strike should be a £300 box, at least, and that was my gut feeling, and that was obviously a double up from MSRP, and it's doubled up again past the 300. So people love Gengar. People love the Gengar.
Fusion Strike at, that's what I would value Chill and Rain at. That's what I would value Lost Origins at. I think these booster boxes should be £300. Evolving Skies should be 1,000. But this is my 2025 by end of year price predictions. They should be.
Way
They
off.
should be.
Way
That's what
off.
I would value them at.
Double that.
As a collector. That's what I
Double
value
that price.
these sets at.
Double that price. Come on now.
Evolving Skies is obviously above the rest. New different class of their own there, but these sets should be very similar. And the fact that a 2022 set, essentially a year later, is 230, when if we compare the Gengar and the Giratina,
so it's not just
similar.
we're not just pulling stuff from thin air. We're doing some deep dive.
Price now, guys, very similar in price. You got to be paying attention to these things. £250 last sold on eBay for the Gengar. 200, 200, 300, 250.
Way more expensive now,
with a terrible picture there. Yeah, look at the grading prices as well. 525 for a 10.
Yeah, way
Is
more.
there any other 10s?
Way more
here?
now.
580 for a 10.
What is it actually sitting
Guys,
at right now? Someone let me know. What's the Gengar sitting at?
We're talking 290 for a 9, 700 for a 10. Very, very, very chase card there. 300 for a 9, 250 for a 2.
So they're sitting at similar prices, right?
180.
But Lost Origin was
160 raw.
Lost Origin was, way more in terms of booster box prices. Anyway, guys, you sort of get the gist. You get the gist of that video. Now let's take a look at this, which was a month ago.
I have to bring you back to the Pokemon Center because it's interesting to see we've got some things back in stock. So if you've seen my last video about the US versus the UK market, you would have seen that Paradox and Temporal are both back in stock on the Pokemon Center UK. It's gotten to be in America because you don't get any of stuff like this. This is all sold out in America. So we're very fortunate in the UK that we get a smaller market in general. Less people buying products in the UK, just population-wise.
Huge benefit.
That gives us an opportunity to make longer plays. We don't have to sort of rush.
Obviously, the hot drops are the hot drops are a bit different.
Much in the UK, you can sort of try and take your time in comparison to the US. Obviously, the market is being crazy right now. I'm not expecting Prismatic or Destined Rivals to stay in stock, but it's nice to see booster boxes.
At least I'm consistent.
MSRP.
I'm saying the same stuff.
It's not going to stay around forever, guys. These are going to sell out at some point, and we just have to make the most of it. When you see opportunity, just try and pounce on it. So that is exactly what I've done. I have gone ahead and I've picked up one more of each of these booster boxes, just one.
Only one.
As money comes in, try and pick these things up, guys, because they will go up in value at some point in time, right? Then most of the time, booster boxes go up in value. There's never not one.
I'm not saying they're going to be the next Fusion Strike, right? They're different sets, right? They are different sets. It's not going to be the next Brilliant Stars. Probably more similar to Brilliant Stars than Fusion Strike. I'd say Paradox is more similar to Brilliant Stars in terms of that sort of mid uh, mid-era set, mid-rating set. But Paradox has some great cards. I'm very bullish on Paradox Rift. Temporal is also a great set. It's got some Gengar and stuff going on in that set. So yeah, these are two sets that sort of, and this whole situation getting restocked. I don't think people were talking about this enough. It was reminding me very much of Fusion and Brilliant Stars on the Pokemon Center. They were just sitting there. People weren't sort of buying them up straight away. They were just sitting there, and I think that now people have obviously this is sold out now. But people obviously realize that booster boxes are going to be a bit more of a premium item going forward in the future, and you know these things are now sort of set. I don't think that we're going to see much more of these around, these boxes. I think that's pretty much coming to the end. Pokemon, like I say, because of the bull market so strong, guys, they have so much to focus on. They need to prioritize in times like this because they're not willing to do more expansion in terms of their printing capacity, buying new sites, buying new companies, but they want to make, maybe add a line or two in the factories that they've got, or make some time reductions, or stuff like that, small cost savings. But I don't think they'll invest in more factories right now, just because the actual macro economics is very uncertain right now, and they don't want to be caught on the wrong side of, they don't want to be laying people off, right? It's never good to be laying people off, and they don't want to do that, so they don't want to overexpand in the time of in an uncertain time. So they're trying their best to keep up with demand, but they're failing right now. And in my opinion, I don't think we'll see a booster box in the UK in stock for more than a week, let's say, or a few days, for the next 6 months, 6 to 10 months. I don't think a booster box will stay in stock, because the next set's Mega Evolutions, the next set after that is Phantasmal Flames, and the next set might be a Rayquaza set, or a Quasar set. So I think we're not gonna have a booster box in stock for a very long time, just sitting there, and it's something that we're gonna have to get used to, as collectors, investors, whatever you want to say, it's buyers, rippers. We are gonna have to get used to that, and you know what that means. Prices are just gonna keep on climbing up, and I think the next, again, I thought it was gonna stop at the end of 25, but now we have clarity on where the Pokemon sets in the future are going. This is just going to run. People have still got cash sitting on the side, and as long as people still have cash to keep buying products and keep holding and waiting for product to come out, and they have cash ready to go, this everything's going to sell out. And what's so interesting about all of this is that I know for a fact people have all the drops, every single Pokemon drop, people wanted to buy more, right? And that is the key factor in all of this, is that Destin Rivals dropped. I only got one PCETB, right? I would have bought, probably, if I had the opportunity, I probably would have bought like 5 or 10. So that's cash just sitting on the side that can't get into Pokemon straight away, and that cash sort of has to get whittled down over time. And I think we'll end up seeing the continuation of this bull market
in the history of Pokemon. A booster box has not gone up in value eventually. So that is my thesis. That is the thesis of buying booster boxes. They're a premium item right now in the Pokemon space, guys. Premium. That means they have an attachment of 10 plus 20% of premium, because they are rare to get. Pokemon don't just print booster boxes anymore like they did in a few eras ago, a few decades ago. They print a lot more different products, which means they're stretched thin. They obviously print more booster boxes today than they did, but in comparison to other products, the ratio is definitely gone down, guys. These are premium products for sure.
Pokemon are constantly printing new types of products all the time,
I've picked
smaller
up more
cartons
of these two products,
and such.
in regards to what they're doing in
So less
America,
packs go
let's
in
take a quick
the
look,
booster
shall we?
box
So
ratio wise.
Paradox, probably my favorite of the two. Although the special illustration
I
rares
love
in Temporal
Paradox
seem to
because
be
people
holding
are
up
buying it.
pretty decent in terms of value.
The sell-through
But
rate back
Paradox
then
is
was
definitely my strong favorite. I love
nine a
the
day.
Groudon.
Look,
I think that's a great chase. I know it's an illustration and not a special, but it's still up there for me. It still packs the punch, and I still think they could bring out a Kyogre at some point. I don't know when, but they go hand in hand.
that would be
So
a
I
great
think
shout.
that will
Common
drive
Pokemon,
demand in
listen.
the future. But
They're
right
great
now
at
in
listening
America,
to the
obviously
fans, by the
market
way.
price is $217. But what does that correspond to in the UK? That's 160, right? So we're 20 in the UK. We're about 20 pounds below market.
I think in the
In
UK we're
terms of
about sitting
US
at
market, we're
180 now.
20 pounds below
180
US
pounds.
market right now. It's obviously had a big run. I was picking I've already got two Paradox, so this would be my third booster box. I picked up for Paradox. You could have been picking these up for $100 in the UK. They were selling them for £100 easy. So that's where I picked my two up at a card show. I picked them up for 100 a pop back in I think October or November, somewhere around there. And obviously now Pokemon's just gone on this monster run.
It's very hard to get a stock going up 80%.
That is what's been going on with Paradox. I mean, 116% is nothing to scoff at, guys. It is a great return for a set that people find mediocre in the Scarlet and Violet block. I still think it's on the higher end, and in terms of investment, I still think it's a great call, especially at MSRP, guys. Just remember, there's not many things you can get at MSRP right now.
Yeah, and that was the opportunity, right?
So it's in my opinion, it's a pickup all day right now. But yeah, it's 116%. Very impressive, guys. Very impressive stuff from Paradox. Let's take a look at Temporal.
Temporal is very similar,
a little more,
very similar, but has a smaller sell-through rate, which is why, but probably because the price is higher. So it's interesting. We'll see what
there's probably
what the sell-through rate is
so
now.
The highest sale was probably 250, probably recently. Let's take a look. 235. So a bit more sales there.
It's interesting that I'm not tooting my own horn by any means, showing you this, guys. I just wanted to let you know that we're not going to see booster boxes on the Pokemon Center website for a very long time. So that means that every drop, every pre-order is going to be sold out, right? I think going forward, because there's just cash on the sideline. And until Pokemon give or print a bad set to the community, when we're gonna buy, and that is the fundamental issue that Pokemon has right now, and or because they're constantly trying to catch up. So they have two options, right? They either print small amounts of each set constantly, or they print the most recent set heavily and forget the older sets and let them just appreciate in price so much, which they can't do because it's playable TCG, guys. So they have the responsibility to the players to print cards at reasonable prices so they can play the game and experience the cards. They have that responsibility, and if they don't do that, then the players aren't going to play. So they have to print each set and have to keep going back to each set to keep the prices low. But but that also means they can't really focus on the new sets coming out, all like to the point where that gets pumped, and you find yourself in a situation of playing catch up, and this cash could all on the sideline could last a very long time. But that is pretty much all I have for you guys today. Is just think about this market has only been sort of really strong for 9 months, and it's not that long in terms of the scale of cyclical flows. 9 months is not long at all, guys. So I think we have a long runway in front. Definitely the next 6 to 9 months, maybe more. I think it's going to be some parts of the hobby will cool off at some point, but I still think Pokemon has, such a niche hobby, and they've got it down to a T now that they're sort of crossing into the art side, the collectible side. It's becoming more of an art since the full arts and the full card has come along. It's more like art and art appreciation, and the prices that come with that is small, compact art, right? And that is cool. And that is what Pokemon have been leaning into, and it's been doing very well for the business, and we all love it as fans as well. So, but that is all I have for you guys today. I really appreciate all your guys' support and feedback. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this video. If you want me to do more reaction videos to other people's videos, that's probably what I wanted to do next. But with that, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.